Thank you. This is the second time I made this video. The first time I was talking too much about my own personal problems, and I'll admit that. And I do that a lot in my videos. But I like people to see what's really going on. I don't like hiding myself anymore. I don't like that at all. I did that my whole life. I hated that shit. Anyway, we're going to be talking about aggression and manifesting through aggression today. There's actually benefits to doing this and detriments to doing this, but there is benefits to doing this. There is detriments to doing this, but there is benefits to doing this. And it's actually more important, in my opinion, understanding how to use your aggression. I'm kind of mastering aggression. My Saturn's in Aries. I have a stellium in Scorpio and a moon in Aries in my draconic chart. And so at this point in my life, this is an energy that I have intense, explosive energy. I'm the war signs of Mars. So this is a personal planet, and it gets shit done. And I kind of have I have a stellium in Scorpio, which some people will tell you is kind of like, there's different people out there. Some people will tell you that even though certain signs are exalted, like for instance in Venus, they'll tell you Taurus and Libra are kind of home to it. But there's another tarot reader I watch, or another astrologer I watch, who's like, no, one's more like it and one's exalted. And listen, I know people tell you Pisces is exalted Venus and blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying that some people's opinions are, for example, that Libra is actually exalted in Venus because Venus rules relationships, Libra is relationships, and is a reflection of yourself. While likewise, Mars is home to Aries. Again, this is not the typical way of explaining it. A lot of people disagree with me. If you want to, I don't give a shit. But some people will tell you that Scorpio is exalted in Mars because it's over aggression, and it's like beyond. Aries is just upfront, direct aggression. Scorpio is like, I stab you in the back, steal everything you got, steal your land, and now your wife's mine. She don't even know I did all this. You know what I mean? Like, I killed my best friend, stole his girl, got his house, everything. And I got all this achievement, indirectly. And it can be very, now I'm not saying Scorpio is like that. I'm just saying that is that energy. And that's why the moon is detriment in Scorpio. And that's why on this planet, that's what they've done, is indirectly. They do it all the time. Look at Native American culture. What do we do? Right. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the method of all warfare. Scorpio. Long gone are the days of walking over somewhere and be like, fuck you, I want what you got, Aries. Now it's like, we're over here to help these people in another country, but we're just killing them off, taking their shit, and everyone's like, we support you. That's kind of how that works. Anyway, I'm going off topic. Today we're going to be talking about manifesting through aggression. As I say, you should let people have what you want. I have manifested through aggression. If you don't believe me, go watch my video called Roar the Tiger. And what happened in that video was, after years and years of getting suppressed, when you're being suppressed, did you know that you manifest more powerfully? This is the truth. In life in general, as we talk about, if you don't know how to manifest, I'm going to give you a basic rundown because it's kind of shitty because there's a whole education here that you should already have. So if you're watching this video and you don't have any fucking clue, you need to go watch other videos, dude. But manifesting is you thinking about what you want, putting out a vibration which affects things. So I want a coffee. If I want a coffee, it just sits there. But I want a fucking coffee. It's coming in. You know what I'm saying? But you get not what you think. You get not because you ask not. So knowing how aggression works and knowing how manifesting works is very important, because you need to know that if you want something, you'll get it. And if you don't want something, you'll get it. So you need to be aware of that. If you're sick and fucking tired of shitty jobs, you'll keep getting shitty jobs. If that's what you're focused on. But there is a secret to using your energy. Because the truth is, let's say I'll use relationships. Maybe you're sick and tired of always finding a fucking narcissist for a relationship. Like your guy or girl, whoever you're dating. Every time a new person comes in, it's a shitty, toxic person that will cheat on you and laugh in your face about it. You kill yourself, and you're just sick and tired of it. Well, guess what? Some people will be like, oh, love and light and all that bullshit. That's not true. Best way to handle that is use your aggression because you're at a low vibration. You're dealing with low vibrational entities that are coming into your life, low vibrational manifestations that are coming in. You're at here. Once you're at the level of bliss, you're flying so high that low vibrational can't touch you anymore. It's true. They really can't grab you. You're out of their reach. But nobody on earth starts there. So it's really retarded to give self-help advice that doesn't talk about aggression. This video is important. I would hope you would watch this to its completion because it is important. I might be going off topic a little bit, but it is important. Knowing how to use your aggression handles things. And I will say this, I fucked up yesterday. I used too much with no discipline. Ironically, I watched yesterday Dragon Ball Z where Vegeta got the M on his head because of the darkness in his heart that the wizard Babidi, if you watch Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, so Vegeta like kills a bunch of fucking innocent people, but then he like tries to sacrifice himself in order to save, because he, the love, you know what I mean? But it's funny because in a way he kind of just sat there and ironically, he just kind of sat there and screamed to the point where he exploded his body to ashes, or he turned into ashes. All his energy burnt himself out, which is really interesting because, Dragon Ball Z is very much about fire entities that rule fire element. That's why it's funny that he turned into ashes when he finally burnt out, which I thought was cool. But anyway, yeah, that happened to me yesterday where I screamed my voice out. And the truth is, when you're upset, hard to see the dark side is. It is hard to see when you're on the dark side. This is dark side energy. This is on a real note, this is you manipulating your dark side, using your dark side. And you will notice that a lot of narcissists and stuff are great at using dark side energy. They're masters of it. They do it all the time. I have a covert narcissist, so my mom, when she used it, she would fake crocodile tear cry. She would use her, heavy, intense emotions. It's fake tears. She knows how to pull them out because it's an actual vibration behind it, which she can use to manipulate almost anybody around her. Now, the problem is, because she uses this energy all day and she doesn't have love, it just plays out to her detriment. It doesn't really benefit you. As it's said in Napoleon Hill's work, sexual expression is the #1 most powerful energy behind love. Love, but you need love in order to wield sexual expression, the sword of sexual expression. We're going to call it a sword. Because you can't wield it without it. It'll destroy you and everything you touch. Another way of saying that is, if you look at Scorpio, it's a sexual sign. It's also a war sign. So understanding how this aggression, Mars in general is sexual energy. So you see how they're related. That's why it's important to know astrology to a certain point, because you might not even know that correlation. But that's a fact on how reality works. That's a fact. I don't care if you believe in astrology or not. Your sexual energy and aggression are all kind of mixed together. It's really the same shit. Anyway, so knowing how to use it's important. So let's say you're in life, things are happening and things are happening and you don't like it. There's a certain point where you should snap. This is the difference between sheeple and people that are going somewhere. I don't even know how else to word it. Just people with actual fucking soul. You ever look at robots? People that are robots that are just, hello, welcome to Chick-fil-A. My voice is all fucked up, so I can't really act right now. But hello, welcome to Chick-fil-A. I cannot do acting right now. My voice is so fucked up. I overdid it yesterday with the screaming. I ain't gonna lie. But when you walk in, their problem in life is they don't know how to use their aggression at all. At all. They have no discipline. They don't know how to use it. And the emotional scale is suicide, depression's at the bottom. So in life, if you're down here, if you don't like your life, if you're overweight, if you don't love the people around you, if you fucking hate your job, you hate your car, you hate everything in your life, well, guess what? You're not going to just be fucking happy. It ain't going to work like that. You want to be happy. This is the secret. Listen close. You don't want to stay angry. That's stupid. Right now, I don't want to be angry. I want to be happy. And I've been in this... And I screamed so much aggression yesterday that whatever you put out comes back, and you're kind of got an inertia behind it, right? We want you to develop an inertia behind being happy. That way, when you're rolling through life, your big ball of positive energy, that's literally how it was described to me by a billionaire. Such weird terms, but if this is how billionaires talk, you should talk like this. Anyway, so when your big ball of positive energy, or the neurological pathways in your brain that you have dominated through habits of being happy, whatever way you want to word it, if you're stuck in logic, that's for left brain people. People that are stuck in the left brain, you might need to hear that. But just know you're under like illusions. The fact that I have to communicate to you logically instead of just telling you what the truth is, because you are trapped in your brain. If I have to tell you that, that's an indicator, but I'm going everywhere. But yeah, you want to get to a point where you're so happy and so positive and so high vibrational that, for instance, low vibrational moments don't affect you. A lot of them don't affect me anymore. I got triggered yesterday because of my insurance. I did not like the idea that I'm going to have to be working my ass off to pay like $800 or $700 for insurance on top of anything else and everything else. I just didn't like the fact that it's so obvious I'm a slave. Like I have to work to pay that off. Anyway, so I was upset. Technically speaking, 1111, if you're upset, that's an indicator that you're out of alignment with your higher self that knows things you don't. And that if you actually felt good in the face of adversity or in the face of these obstacles, you wouldn't know how, but you would just go through them. And you wouldn't understand how you would do it. You would just get there and see further, feeling good the whole way, and it'd all work out. Like stupidly. Like, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Like that. I've had that happen. I got pulled over by a cop. I had, like, a car was, like, not my car. I had drugs in it. Wasn't my car. There's a person next to me who was a narcissist sweating. It was a spiritual attack. It was a moment where I was supposed to be set up and go to jail. And the cop even came by and was like, blah, 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 blah. Your fucking plates are out of date or whatever. And the girl next to me, the narcissist, says, oh, well, officer, if the stickers on the plate are out of date, but if you look it up on the computer, it should tell you that they're not. And the officer looked past me and said, ma'am, it's really fucking, seriously. He said, it's really fucking stupid to be talking back to a police officer. But I felt good. And out of nowhere, the cop came back and said, here's your license, have a good day. And it made no sense at all. It didn't make sense. It's almost like spirit overrode the officer to be like, I don't know why, but I got a dopamine hit. Here's your license. Have a good day. He did that. And I was feeling great. It was a situation where I already felt great. And people around me, the situation around me was, you're fucked. There was no way I couldn't have been fucked. There was no evidence outside of me. Everything was fucked. Like the car was illegal or some shit. Like everything. No sane cop would let me go. But he did. And it was because I felt like holy. Like I was at the highest level of bliss. And here's a narcissist bitch sitting next to me going, oh, we're fucked. You're going to jail. Like that's what she was thinking. And didn't matter. And I say that because if I would have used my aggression then, not good. Because I'm already above it, right? Why would I lower my vibe? You know what I'm saying? But if you're not there, raising your vibe is aggression 98% of the time. Yeah. When I walk in a store and somebody does something I don't like, I don't keep that shit in. I direct that shit right back. I do whatever it takes to get that shit right back. I have no problem at this point in my life. I have a side of me. I know myself. I have a side of me where I'll tell you a good story about aggression. Ready? This is so funny. One day, this is kind of off to the side, but it's a true story. This is about manifesting. I'm going to tell you an example. And this is about focusing on what you want, not what you don't want with your aggression. Be careful, because the dark side, hard to see. You're very clouded. It's easy to be, that's why you don't want to stay here. You want to get past it. But you need to be able to flip through emotions. And people in society don't like it when you get angry. You will see that when you're at a job and somebody says, hi, I need you to go clean out the thing. I'm a fake ass fuck. Could you do that? Thanks. and you're like, yeah, I don't really like the way you're fucking talking to me. Like, they'll be like, whoa, he cussed. But it really wasn't because you cussed. Even if you decide not to cuss and say, I don't really like the way you're talking to me, they'll be like, oh, we're going to report you. Like, I mean, that's how society works. Guess what? If you raise your vibe up, you're going to get moved. As long as you get past anger back to bliss, even if they do fire you, you'll get a better job. That's the thing. Because what's really happening is you're at a job and the vibe is, this is the standard. You don't know it, but this is the standard. You fit the standard, you don't belong here. Good. You'll get a better job. Know that. So I'm going to tell you a story about me using aggression in a slight way. I have 100 of them, 1,000 of them. One day, I went to the library and I had 3 books and I wanted to keep 1 or 2 of them. We'll say 1 of them. And so I'm walking to the library and my feelings told me the path of least resistance. But I went against it. My feelings told me don't go to the library. Even though I have to return these books and recheck out this one book, my feelings told me don't do it. Go to the park instead. But I said, well, I already carried the books here, and I know that there is no such thing as a wrong path. The guidance system is showing you, your feelings are showing you your path of least resistance. The whole way. But if you want to go outside of it, you're going to find moments where you're, because you're fighting resistance, and it'll take form of people, places, and things. You have no idea, but when you get there, you'll see it. So I said, well, what could happen at a library, right? Like, I could feel it. It's not like I thought, go to the park, go to the library and you die. I didn't feel that. I just felt, go to the park. But let's see what happens anyway if we go to the library. And now I have a story. See what I mean? So resistance actually does get you to fuck. If you use it right, if you know how to use your aggression, you can use it to bounce back stronger and better than using the other path. Honestly, I always use the path of least resistance. I'm just saying that on your journey, real self-help, real self-work, knowing yourself, getting that what you want, you're going to have to fight battles. And I'm telling you, get happy about it. Get excited. Aggression and excitement. You see how aggression turns into excitement? I do it all. I use my aggression to turn it into excitement all the time. And then I'm pumped. I'm on top. Yeah, and I'm floating. I do it all the time. Other people don't have that ability. They don't know how to use their emotions. They're usually down, or they get pissed and they're back to down. They'll get pissed and they'll go back to down. That's the best they get. Don't be that guy. So I go to the library. I walk in. There's a girl behind the counter. And I tell her what I want. I told her that I have these books that I need to return. And I have these books I want to recheck out. And she goes, okay, and she grabs my stuff. I'm a tourist, so this is kind of important. But she grabs my stuff. She says, oh, it says here that, on the computer. She basically looked at a computer and followed the rules, which was, I can't have my books back. So even though I expressed that I wanted this book rechecked out, and I did the right thing, I didn't have to show up, right? Like, I didn't have to show up here and do this. I could have just had these books late, which is like no punishment at all at a library. There's like no punishment. So I went out of my way. I did the right thing. I'm in the right. I know I'm in the right. I didn't have to show up here. And now you're going to tell me, even though I expressed I want my books back, that you can't give it back to me? And so she's looking down, not even looking at me. Like, she says, yeah, I'm going to have to take that. And I had a thought, which was, in about 2 seconds, I'm using my anger. In about 2 seconds, no matter what the fuck happens, I'm getting that book back. Poor little old lady on the other side of this counter doesn't know it. But in about 2 fucking seconds, I don't care if the cops get called. I don't give a fuck if I get an assault charge. I'm going to grab that book back. And if she goes, oh no, I'm going to get over the counter. I'm going to push you against the wall and I'm going to grab my book back. You're not going to take my shit. That's what my thought was. And lo and behold, the universe manifested this, which was, I thought that, and she said, she was looking down. She had no idea I just had that energy. But she felt in her own world, her own path of least resistance. It changed because my path changed. You see that? I dominated it. She said, oh, we're going to take those books. I thought, I'm about to beat the shit out of you for a book. Her path was, oh, I better give this book back. And she did. She goes, oh, on second thought, blah, 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 blah. Here's your book. Nothing happened. I did not have to grab my book back. Understand that. And I didn't have to stay in aggression because I got what I wanted. So I felt good again. But I wasn't worried about having a manifestation outside of me appear to feel good. I just knew that in a second, I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes. And if this bitch wants to make a big fucking scene over me grabbing a book, that's okay, because I'm going to make a bigger scene. That's what I felt. You know, it's going to be like, oh, here's your book. Okay, well, you can't take, well, I'm taking it. Well, get the fuck off my book. You know, that's what I thought. And you might say, oh, what a psychopath. I didn't have to do anything. And I manifested my book back. Obviously, I could have just took the path of least resistance and this never would have happened. You see what I'm saying? But in the beginning, you're an idiot. You're an emotionally unintelligent idiot. Emotional intelligence is a thing. You're an emotionally unintelligent idiot. In life, you've already put out vibes and there's a cycle. That's why your life's the same way it's been for years. So if you want to break out of that cycle, you're going to have to learn how to use your aggression. It's very important. You're going to have to look at when something pops up you don't want. Most people get, like I did yesterday. I did kind of flip it. I said, I'm not going to be a fucking slave. But the truth is, all I was thinking about was being a slave. So I didn't use it correctly as I should have. And I will admit, that's why I'm making this video, because I can admit, I can look at it and go, yeah, I kind of fucked that up. But you can always bounce back, and that's the secret. That's the secret. You need to learn how to bounce back. That's the power of having emotional intelligence, having emotional strength, is being able to bounce back, to have this happen, to have a whole crowd boo you. You're like, go fuck yourselves. A minute ago, I was trying to make all you people laugh here at the comedy club, but now y'all just hate me because I'm me, so eat a fat dick. You see how that went? Because I was up here, y'all like, we don't like you. We're all trying to be famous too, and you're actually doing really fucking good at it, and I don't fucking like you. Yeah, I didn't know if this guy was going to ask for something or not. There's 3 of them. But anyway, yeah. When shit like that happens, I know that this is where I'm high, I'm feeling great. Oh, you're trying to lower me. Yeah, fucking eat a dick. And then go back up. And at this point in my life, I do not go below anger. And I never do. And I don't get depressed. I don't. In years. Okay, the whole healing from my narcissistic mom, 222. Okay, that's different because, you know, like that shit's trauma. It's my mom. I had to get over it, you know. That's like going through drug addiction. You're going to feel shitty. There's like a certain amount of you have to expect that. But know that that feeling is really a good thing. It's really a perspective. You need to change your perspective. Like, no, you're healing. This is a good thing. No, just know that your aggression can be a great thing. There's people that are fucking evil, that are ruling this planet. You don't realize it, but psychopaths rule this planet currently and have so for many years, centuries and centuries. Bloodlines of empathyless people have been fucking other rich, empathyless people, making decisions that cause thousands to go to their death, others that mine out of caves for the minerals to make cell phones, and they just die off by the groups. You have no idea. The horrible, mining industry is horrible. They got so many people that die mining. They're just slaves. And they send slaves to die to make technology that doesn't make you feel like it's very evil. Psychopaths have ruled this planet. And the point is, there's a certain amount of them using aggression, when they need to get what the fuck they want. And they've succeeded. So it's important for good people like you and me to understand how to use aggression. My whole childhood, I never used aggression. And I was a little bitch. And everybody walked on me. And I have no doubt in my mind that there's plenty of people from my old life who would not fuck with me now. They would not fuck with me now. They know damn well I'd run you over with my car. I'd beat the shit out you. I would stab you to death before I let you fucking bully me like that again. And the funny thing is, people sense that. It's not even them. It's just law of energy. There's a path of least resistance. Don't fuck with that guy. I used to walk down the street, and that same energy is why the hood was scary. I'd walk down the hood, and I know that if I say something to these 12 black guys that don't like white people, they're going to beat the shit out of me. That's not racist. That's real. They're racist. I'm walking down the street. They don't like me. I'm white. Fact. St. Louis. They don't like me. I'm white. And there was a day where I was walking by, and to be honest with you, I did kind of fight back, but I knew that there's a certain point where these people are probably just going to get up and beat the shit out of me. Well, now I'm at a level where if I had that same day again, I know that I'm just going to fucking fight you to the death. And ironically, I probably wouldn't even be walking down that street because I have that energy. The universe would be like, you've handled that. You're out of that low vibe. Like, that's what I mean. I'm always high vibe. And anytime I start to lower, no. Thank you. Like, right when I feel that, right when I feel the gun to my head, and you afraid little bitch, and that happened to me. I have a story about a guy pointed a gun at me. He said, you know where the fuck you are? I said, I go where the fuck I want. And his girlfriend was like, babe, let's leave. And they didn't do anything. Because I sure as fuck was going to get put in a position of, oh no, I'm going to die. I'm not, fuck you, bitch. You know, blow my head off. And ironically, what happened? He pussed out because he's a little bitch. That's what I'm saying. He might use his aggression, but he doesn't have that ability to go higher. You understand? He doesn't have that ability to go higher than that. And because of that, I win. There's also a saying, when two enemies are equally matched, the one who doesn't have an enemy wins. Personally, I try not to take it personal. Personally, I don't try to take it personal. When I'm angry, yeah, I am taking it personal, and I attack back, but my bounce back is I forgive you, all that. Like, I go through all the stages really quick, and I go on with that through my day. Most people, they'll go to a restaurant, and some server will fuck up their meal, and they might snap, but their whole day will be ruined. You ruined your whole day because you couldn't get out of the anger. So it's important to know how to raise, and that's why feeling better now is the secret. Hopefully this video hasn't cut out too quick. Feeling better now is the emotional skill. People say you need to feel good. You need to feel better right now, all day. That's your number one program in your brain. I have an education, so I got to listen to a billionaire tell me your number one goal. And it's the number one goal of every human being on earth. There is no human being who subconsciously isn't trying to feel better now. You could be a famous superstar. You want a new Lambo. Why? Because you want to feel better now. You want to go to a bar because you think alcohol will make you feel better now. You want to have sex, feel better now. You want a meal because it tastes so good, because that, in a way, is feeling better now. Do you understand? Everybody. Nobody is excluded. Everybody. Nobody is not excluded. Everybody's in this. You want to feel better now. There's no human being that isn't doing that. There's nobody. There's no alien or anything. Everybody, everywhere in the entire universe is trying to feel better now. Animals are trying to feel better now. You understand? You're hungry. Good, eat. Feel better now. You see what I'm saying? How do you get food? Sometimes you got to go kill another animal to eat. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to use your aggression. It's important. Don't stay there. Don't stay there. Learn how to use it, though. Again, this video is probably going to cut out any second. Still posting this. I love you. I know this kind of went everywhere. And I might make a part 2. You need to know how to use your aggression. It's very important. But when you use it, try to turn your back on what you don't want. Example, you want a new car, but you're looking at your shitty car. If you keep thinking about your shitty car that keeps breaking down, you're using your aggression, and your aggression, let me rephrase this. Aggression is focus. In Star Wars, please don't cut out. In Star Wars, there's a scene where Luke is watching his entire fleet getting destroyed, and I can't remember the Sith Lord's name right now, but he says, I can feel your anger, Luke. Good. It makes you focus. And it does. That's the truth. Star Wars and movies like that are all talking about see how they levitate shit with the Force and they get things to come to and fro? There's a certain amount of that with law of attraction that they're making fun of. And there's a certain amount of, in this world, there is people like the Dark Lords that rule this planet that have used aggression. But as you could tell, without love, it destroys them. Remember I just said that? Don't they look destroyed? Look what Darth Vader looks like with that. Let me say this. In Star Wars, Darth Vader is using the superpower of aggression. And it wasn't until he loved Luke that he had enough strength to lift the Dark Sith Lord above him with one arm, because his hand's gone. He lifts him up and he throws him over. And he's, lightning's coming out of his fingers. Point is, Darth Vader did fulfill his prophecy, because one day he would bring balance to there's a prophecy about him, and everyone thought it fucked up because he went to the dark side. And he was staying in the dark side, which is what fucked it up. But the instant he came back to love, there's a certain amount of the love and sexual expression that was just mentioned, the anger, the aggression, the dark side energy. He wielded both and had enough strength to lift the dark Sith Lord above him and overthrow him. That happened in the show, in the movies. That's real. Again, any second is probably going to cut out. I'm probably going to make a part 2. Yeah, I'm going to make a part 2. I'm going to continue this in a minute. And we're going to make a part 2 on aggression, handle aggression. I love you guys.